is true.
Brother men are limited by their morality or law. Remember,
Everything is permitted.
we work in the darkness to serve the light.
We are assassins.
生きよう。私はMassBladeは影の中に住んでいます。多く何をすべきか知っていますか？彼ら全員を殺してください。
Blindly follow the truth. Remember,
Nothing is true.
brother men are limited by their morality or law. Remember,
Everything is permitted.
we work in the darkness to serve the light.
We are assassins.
MassBlade, if you're listening to this,
The game has changed.
MassBlade. If MassBlade's not in here, someone tell him in game that I will make it my life's journey to hunt him down.
Jesus, yo. Hey man, bro, I can never get that stealth technique right, you know. I don't know what to tell you guys. Okay, I messed up, alright, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll get it right the next time. Alright, but anyway. So, how are we all doing? Okay, another guide video. Alright, we back at it again. Assassin time. Alright, so you guys all knew this video was coming, okay? Like I did say I will make a guide on this class. Before it even releases, I did say I was gonna do this. So I have been spammed like crazy about this class. Like, dude, there's a lot of people that were requesting this shit. Fucking hell, man. Like, you guys are like fucking, like, you know, like those crackheads that you see like in the city streets, bro. Like, and then they'll be like, hey, yo, hey, Mass, bro. Hey man, hey, I need that assassin guy, bro. You got any builds for me, bro? Like, hey man, like, hey, it's looking a bit bad, bro. You feel me? Like, bro, you guys were going fucking crazy with that shit, bro. I swear. But it's okay though, you know. Like, we here, all right. This is what I'm here for, okay? Like, I'm here to help. But yeah, man, this class, honestly, it's pretty fun in terms of like how it feels. I don't know if I'm gonna stay this class though, because there's like parts of me that miss the old assassin from the old Revelation on PC. But yeah, man, like that class was fast as fuck, bro. Like this class, I don't know, man. There's like parts of this class that I just don't like. Like, for example, like there's a lot of skills that make the class stationary, which I really don't like. But yeah, like it has a lot of freedom, a lot of versatility. And that is what I love about this class. You can do a lot of mix-ups, you know, and actually change your playstyle. And that's what I'm about to get into with all of these different builds. So again, I'm going to do it exactly how I do with like the previous guide videos, you know, with like I do PvE, PvP, 5v5, 3v3, mass PvP, alternative builds, you know, like anything to give you like an idea of what you can do potentially with this class. Now, I will always make this guide mathematically correct so that it's literally the most optimal build for your setups. Now, I have done the testing already. We have already done this on stream. So yeah, that's about it. And I will show you guys PvE first, and then I'll work my way up to PvP and everything else. Okay, so here we go.
We work in the darkness to serve the light.
We are assassins.
Okay, so let's start off with the PvE build. Okay, now I will show rotation as well. So here we go. Now your build should look something like this. Now, honestly, you can change the first talent if you want. and actually use this instead, it's entirely up to you. Now, the reason why I don't use this one to cut it off completely is because this is only when they are above 70% HP. That is why I don't use this. Now, for the most optimal DPS, you definitely want to have more consistent damage for like the whole HP bar. So that's why we go with the back attack. And guys, I cannot stress this enough. This also scales with the Plum Heart Divinity. So if you have this as well, you can actually do a lot more damage from behind. That's why this class is really good. Not to mention, Assassin also scales off of some skills that actually do back attack damage. For example, Bloodthorn. Bloodthorn is a perfect example because it actually does 20% extra damage from behind as well. So yeah, that's like an example of why back attacks are really important. But anyway, so okay, so when it comes to this, yeah, so you definitely want to go for back attack damage. So make sure that your tank is like in a good positions for you to like literally just stand behind the boss or whatever and just keep doing back attacks. Okay, that's like the best way. For solo play though, now for solo play, you can remove this and then use this instead. Because what the Sword is Sharp does, it boosts non-continuous damage. Okay, bypasses the defensive power of the target. Now, what this means is, it means any skill that is only a single proc of burst. So, for example, this is skills like Bloodthorn. This is skills like Blade Crit. What else do we have? That's about it, really. Oh, and Shadow Strike, but this doesn't really do much damage, so you ain't really gonna do this. It doesn't really work on Imprisonment either, but you ain't gonna use this for damage either, so yeah. So it's only Bloodthorn and Blade Crit this only helps with. It doesn't really help with anything else, really. Divine Prisoner also has 2 procs of damage as well. But yeah, just in case if like you want to know what I'm talking about. So this, you see, like 1 proc of damage. If it's anything else, it does multiple hits, so it's not gonna work. You know, everything else is like multi-hit. Oh, it also works on oh yeah, I forgot about this one as well. It works on Chain Slash too, so that's also really good. But yeah. By the way, Assassin's passive is actually really freaking good. Like, dude, I cannot, bro. That is actually broken. That is actually broken for real. Like, that is crazy. But yeah. Anyway, so that is all the skills you want to use. Now, for ultimates, actually, I'll get into that afterwards. So, like I said, you want to use the back attack. Okay, now this, like I said, you're going for damage, so you don't want to like max this out or anything. And then there's this skill. Okay, now honestly, this isn't a bad talent. You can put more points into this, but I've talked about this with Oak as well, is that this is a percentage, it's a chance to happen. That's why you don't really want to build your character around a gamble kind of aesthetic. You don't want to do this. You don't want to like build your character around gambling. Because, dude, there's a lot of times where it just won't proc, and then you're just losing so many talent points, and you're losing that optimal damage. That's why I say do not max this. You can put 1 point into it because it's pretty nice, but if you don't want to use it in general, you can actually use the one where you do 5% more damage to Unstoppable. You can use this as well. The other one, this is only for shielded targets, so it's not really going to be consistent. That's why you want to go either for this, because it's nice to just have that little bit of chance in order to make that proc. But when it comes to like Velox Penetrate, yeah, this is you can also use this as well as an alternative for extra damage. You can do this, but I personally like this for the reset because it does proc sometimes, you know, so it's nice to just have the extra bit of chance. Now this one is not up for debate. Okay, this one you have to have the damage multiplier with the Swift Shadow. Now if you don't know what Swift Shadow is, okay, that is the anti-CC, which is this skill right here. Now this skill is absolutely broken. Okay, now this is one of the most broken anti-CCs in the game. Okay, now if you don't know what I'm talking about, is that not only does it boost your evasion by a shit ton, okay, is that it also gives you 7 seconds of control immunity instead of 5. Normal classes only have 5 seconds, or 3 seconds if you're sword mage or whatever, but yeah. So this skill, not only does it give you 7 seconds of control immunity, but it also boosts your physical haste by 100%. Now, if you don't know how broken this is, okay, I'm gonna show you. Now, it actually reduces all of your cooldowns if you pre-pop it. So, for example, let me just give you guys a little example of what I'm talking about. So, the AoE control skill, this one right here, okay? Notice how it was 20 seconds cooldown, okay? If I go to it, alright? 20 seconds, pretty much, alright? Now, this is what happens when you pre-pop your anti-CC and then you start to use skills, okay? So I'm going to show you what I mean. So I use the skill, and then look at the cooldown now. It's halved. Dude, I don't have to tell you how broken that is. Like, bro, you can literally get another reset on your whole rotation if you pre-pop this. So for your PVE rotation, I'll get into that in a sec. You can literally pre-pop this first and then do your whole combo rotation, and then when it comes back, you do your ultimates. Now, honestly, for your ultimates, the best ones you want to use is definitely this one right here. Now, this one is crazy. This one right here, Divine Annihilation. Now, this one is just it's just a burst damage dealer, bro. This shit is crazy. But yeah. This one also does a lot of damage, but this one, it does so much. It does 50% extra damage to monsters. Okay? That's why this one is broken. But this one is also good for like extra knockdown as well. For like extra stagger. That's why this one's pretty good too. However, it doesn't do as much damage as this, but it costs less points, and you can fit it into your rotation a lot better. That's why I actually recommend to use Divine Prisoner instead of Extinction Sanctuary. But yeah, this one's it's not bad. Like it's really good for AoE damage as well, and it's cheaper as well, so you can use this. But if you really want to use Extinction Sanctuary, you can use this, but like I said, it's a channeling skill, so you're gonna be in animation for quite a little while. That's why I do not recommend using this. But you can use it. It's not like terrible or anything. If you really love it, you can use it. Especially if like you're the one tanking or some shit, then yeah, you can use this, but I would not recommend it. I will use Divine Prisoner with Divine Annihilation. So for your combo rotation, it should look something like this. So from the beginning, you can actually start with the chain. Like this, get damage over time, into AoE, into that. And then you want to like get the backstab when you're doing blade crit, by the way, because remember what I said, it does 20% extra damage from behind. So while you're doing all of these skills, make sure you're behind the target the whole time. Okay? Make sure you're doing this. So, like I said before, so you definitely want to do all of this from behind, because like I said, with the Divinity, Plum Heart, increased damage from 10% from targets from behind, so you definitely want to do this. But yeah. So, again, you start with control immunity, into shuriken, and then you want to like make sure you're doing this all from behind, by the way. Remember what I said? So on the dummy, the behind the target will be here. So I'll do all of this like right here. But yeah. So you just keep doing the same thing. So you just keep spamming, you know? Like, it's a pretty spammy class, honestly. It's a very spammy class. The cooldowns are pretty short as well. You can do that. Into the pool again. Oh, and by the way, this skill is actually really interesting. Chain Slash. It also has a life steal effect, in case you guys didn't know. But yeah, it has a really long wind up. That's the only thing about this skill, but it's pretty good, honestly. It's a really good skill. Now, the most important part about this is that you wanna... Okay, wait, let me just show you what I'm talking about. So, when it comes to this skill right here, remember what I said, physical haste, and with the talent, this one right here, it boosts your damage multiplier. Okay, so you want to pre-pop this before you use your ultimates. That's the most important part. So you want to start with the 3-star first. So you pre-pop your anti-CC and then 3-star into chains like that. That's how you should be using it. Okay, that is your big burst. Now if you really want to do something else, you could use this. Okay, like it's not troll. Honestly, it's really not troll. You also could use this as well for the extra damage, but I wouldn't recommend it because it's not worth it. Honestly, you can use way better skills because this also does control and stagger, you know, so that's why you want to use the chains instead. Now this ultimate right here, now the 1-star is pretty good too, but honestly this is better for the control and AoE, so that's why you want to use this instead. But yeah, so now these skills right here, this one instantly recover 10% of your lost HP, and you lose 1% of your max HP every second for 10 seconds. Okay, now it's pretty good because it gives you defense power and attack power. Also, if you have it gold grade, there is also an extra 10% increase to lost health, but it doesn't work the way you think it does. Like, remember, it says lost HP, so it doesn't like instantly boost your HP by 20%. No, that's not how it works. It's lost HP, so it's every time. So it means like the lower your HP is, the more it will heal. That's what it means. So it's really not that great. Also, the attack power is nice, but you're better off using like a damage skill. That's why I personally wouldn't use this. Okay, now the next one. Now this one's pretty good too, but it costs way too much points for what it does. So what it does is that it ignores the target's defense, but again, that's kind of like attack power, you know. Why would you use a 2-star for this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, however, if you really want to one-shot someone, okay, you could just use this. You could use like the buffs and debuffs, you know, like you could pre-pop this with this. Okay, but yeah, this is PVE build. Okay, so that's like something else. But anyway, so what this does is that it ignores 20% of the defense power and a certain amount of additional defense. This is pretty good. Now it also reduces the target's damage by 50%. So in a 1v1, it will make you more tanky towards the target, and it will also make you do more damage as well. It's pretty good, but it only lasts for 9 seconds. And honestly, the damage inflicted by the target on the caster is further reduced. The duration extended by an additional second, so it lasts for 10 seconds if you have it gold grade. Okay, now it's not worth it for a 2-star, honestly. It costs way too much points for what it does. If this was a 1-star, yes, it would be worth it, but dude, it's a 2-star, man. Also, the cooldown is 30 seconds. It's not worth it, honestly. It's really not worth using this. Okay, but anyway, so Extinction Sanctuary. Now, like I said, you can use this over Divine Prisoner, but it's entirely up to you on your playstyle. Okay, but honestly, I would recommend using Divine Prisoner because it works in your rotation a lot quicker. Also, this is instant. You can just use it and that's it. You can just move on with your other skills, you know? So once you use it, you don't have to like do any wind up or anything. It just does it, bro. And then you can like do all your other skills, you know, while you do this skill. But when it comes to the other one, the one over here, Extinction Sanctuary, is that it's a casting. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh, I actually got the chain reset there. Okay, now this is what I'm talking about. So when you use hold on, let me just show you guys an example of what it will look like to use it in your rotation, actually. So you're gonna need 300 ultimate charge in order to do this, which is also really costly as well. That's the problem. But yeah, I'll show you guys what I mean. Okay, now if you are going to burst with this skill instead of Divine Prisoner, it should look something like this. So you want to pre-pop your anti-CC into 3-star burst into this. That's how you would do it. But remember, it's a long casting. That's why I don't recommend doing this, because then instead of doing all of that animation, you could have been using skills, you know, and it will do like the damage that it will do according to the damage from the Sanctuary Extinction in the first place. You know, like, it doesn't really make sense to use this skill. It's good for PvP though. For PvP, it's really good, but I'll show you that in a sec. But anyway, your PvE build, this is the most optimal setup. Okay, now that's PvE out the way. I hope you guys learned something, and that's it. Now moving on to 1v1 PvP.
We work in the darkness to serve the light.
We are assassins.
Okay, now for 1v1 PvP. Okay, everyone's favorite. Alright, now this class is insane. Okay, now when I tell you this class is broken to the core, alright, this class is freaking broken, man. Alright, now if you guys thought Gunslinger was broken, if you thought Dragon Knight was broken, bro, dude, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, it just gets even more crazy each new class. Like, bro, wait until you see Holy Lancer, okay? Like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, okay? But anyway, so Assassin 1v1. Now, there are a lot of different ways you can do this shit. This is why I love this class, because for 1v1 PvP, there's a lot of different ways you can play it, okay? Now, there's a lot of people that would say going burst build is troll for 1v1. It's really not, okay? It's really not. Don't listen to them, okay? Like, if you're using burst build for 1v1, that's fine, okay? This is not troll. You can use this. Do you want to know why? It's because of the 4th talent. The 4th talent, you can switch up your playstyle. This is why burst build isn't bad, okay? Now, I'm going to get into that in a sec, okay? Now, let's start with the most common build that people start to use, okay? Which is the bleed build. Now, like I said, there's different ways you can play this class, okay? In 1v1 PvP. Now, the best ultimate setup for bleed is definitely the Blade crit and the Divine Prisoner. Now, you can also use Burning Blood as well. You can use this. However, I like to do damage, so that's why I use Blade Crit instead. But you can use Burning Blood. You can use this. This is not troll. You can use it. Okay? Do not use this one right here unless you're going to go for a burst build into like a one-shot. This is the only time you use this. Okay? But honestly, it's not worth the points, because you'll probably be dead by the time you even get the 3-star anyway. That's what I'm saying. There's no point doing this. But anyway, so you need Divine Prisoner for your CC rotation, your CC chain. So you definitely want to use Divine Prisoner. This is not up for debate. You have to use this. Okay. Now, you can also use Extinction Sanctuary, but you wouldn't use this. Okay. You must, bro. You must be crazy to use this skill. But honestly, you would definitely use Divine Annihilation. But yeah, instead of Extinction Sanctuary. So there's options you can choose from with the ultimate. So you can either use Blade Crit with Divine Prisoner, or you can use Divine Prisoner with Divine Annihilation, or you can even use Divine Prisoner with Burning Blood. Okay. Now, honestly, they all proc bleed. They all proc bleed. It doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter what build you do. They all proc bleed. Okay. Now, honestly, your 1v1 build, it should look something like this. For your talents as well, for the bleed version. Okay, I'll show you the best version in a sec. Okay, but you can switch this up. Okay, so for example, if you like playing with the chain and you need to like chase like people that run a lot, for example like Occultist, Sword Mage, or if you're fighting Holy Lancer, which will come out later in a future patch, you can pull Holy Lancer out of the sky. So you will need this chain in the future. Okay. Now, you can remove the reflect and put on the chain. Okay. Now, this skill right here, the reflect. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, okay, I'm talking about this skill right here. This skill is absolutely crazy. Okay, it is insane. It is so good for like mix-ups. Okay, you can like bait your opponent. You can do like really crazy shit. You can even use it for sustain. There's so many options, and the good thing about this skill is that, bro, it's 12 seconds cooldown, man. You can use this really early. But yeah, you can literally just use it and just, you know, just like use it to heal as well. Like you can even use it to just, you know, block a CC. Like you could do it for so many different reasons. Like this skill is so, it makes the class very versatile in terms of your playstyle. That's why I really like this. But honestly, you could also replace this with Blade Crit. You could also do this as well, because you can do this. You can actually combo. Remember Blade Crit? I mean, not Blade Crit. What was it called again? Bloodthorn. Yeah, Bloodthorn. It does 20% more extra damage from behind. So what you want to do, you want to combo it with this. Like that. Okay? Easy combo. Very easy combo. Okay? Because what this skill does, this skill right here, Shadow Strike, it immediately goes behind your target. Like automatically. So it sets you up for a back attack, which is really good because it also stuns as well. So that's what's really good about this skill. So remember, you use the Shadow Strike right there into Bloodthorn like that. Instant back attack. So then you get the damage. Okay? Now, there is other builds. You could also use Chain Slash. Okay, you can use this as well. Now I'm going to explain to you why. Because Chain Slash is actually very underrated, okay? And I'm gonna explain to you guys why this skill is really good, okay? In a sec, okay? Just give me a sec. Hold on. Alright, so. Oh, by the way, you have to have Imprisonment. This is not up for debate. You have to have this. You have to have this as well. You have to have this. You have to have this. And you have to have Stealth. They're like, bro, you cannot take off Stealth, okay? But anyway, so. Now I'm gonna show you guys a little secret about this skill. Okay, the Chain Slash, remember how it says it has 20% lifesteal. All right, now remember this. Okay, you can actually abuse this. Now I'm gonna show you how. Okay, now read this last part. It deals double damage when you are in stealth. So what does this mean? Well, I will show you. Now if you use the skill itself, you get the 20% lifesteal effect, okay? However, if you use it in stealth, okay, you actually double the lifesteal effect. And you heal a shit ton, okay? Now, I'm gonna explain to you how you can abuse this even further. Remember how I said this skill right here has 100% physical haste. So you can reduce the cooldown of this by half, okay? So, if you really want to like just do like a mass heal, you can even use this. Like if you're really low HP, you can even scale it with this. Like, bro, you can do some crazy healing. Like, bro, I'm telling you. But yeah, and you can also like run away, use this to heal. Like, bro, there's so many healing options. This class is crazy. But anyway, I'll show you something even more crazy. Okay, so when you stealth, control immune, use it. Okay, you get the double heal, and then you can use it again. But yeah, you don't exactly have to do this. Like it's really short cooldown. See, when you're in the stealth state, you can use this skill a numerous amount of times before you actually get like the full cooldown again. That's why it's crazy. Like, bro, you can heal upon heal upon heal. So if you're like chasing your opponent, right? So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So when you're in stealth, look at this. Look at that healing. So you can literally just do it again, you know, heal again, and then just heal again. Like crazy stuff. And remember, it's only when it's single target. So that's why I said for 1v1 it will heal anyway, because the effect only works on a single target. That's why. So yeah. But anyway, I mean, it still works even if like you hit multiple enemies like this, you know, it still works. But yeah, it's mostly like based upon a single target. That's why. because if it healed like with multiple targets, that would be broken. Because you can literally just use the skill, hit multiple people, and you will heal like full HP, bro. It will be crazy. Imagine. But yeah. So that's like another way you can use this. But honestly, I prefer the reflect. Okay. But yeah, now for talents. Okay, now this one, you can use this. This is like the only one you can use, honestly. I mean, you can use this too, but you want to have the damage for the whole HP bar. That's why I say use this. But you only need 1 point into this because it's not consistent. Because like I said, it only works for Blade Crit, and it works for Chain Slash, and it works for Blood Fawn, and it works for Shadow Strike. But that's about it. It doesn't work for anything else. That's why it kind of sucks, honestly. But yeah, anyway. So, the most important one. This one right here. Now, this shit is absolutely broken. Oh my god, bro. I cannot tell you how many times you evade attacks when you have this maxed out. This shit is absolutely crazy. There is also physical damage reduction, but why would you only go for physical damage reduction when you can just put on the evasion? Like, this is passive physical damage reduction, by the way, which is pretty good, but you also want to have this because you evade the skill completely, you know, so it negates everything. That's why I just go for evasion, honestly. Now, you can also use this. Now, this talent right here, it's not terrible, because you can actually use this in an Assassin Ditto match and actually outlast your opponent's stealth and then catch them off guard. It works, trust me. However, this is risky because then you lose a lot of sustain. That's why you don't really want to use this. I personally want to use this. 6 seconds with stealth is enough. You do not need more than this, okay? Honestly, you really don't. It's not worth it. Okay, but anyway, so back to the talent. So you definitely want to go for the evasion, for the Swift Shadow. Now, what Swift Shadow is, again, this is the anti-CC. This is this skill. It lasts for 7 seconds. While you are in this state, your evasion is through the roof. Bro, you are almost invincible. You are like a tank machine. I don't know what to tell you. This shit is crazy. But yeah, it's really fucking good. Okay, now next one. This one is really good. Okay. Now, hold on, let me go to the balance page. So for the balance page, it should look something like this. Okay, but like I said, you can use alternatives. You can use the chain instead of the reflect. You can use the blood fawn instead of the reflect. You can use the chain slash instead of the reflect. Okay, it's really up to you on your playstyle. Okay, do not use this 1v1. It's really not good for 1v1. Honestly, do not use this. People could just walk outside of this. You can use it for like a CC chain if like they're CC'd. It does more damage on the next successful hit, but that's only if you actually land the whole combo. So yes, it's not worth it. So yeah, do not use the absolute domain. I don't think it's worth it personally. You're better off using something like this. It's much more of a safer option. But yeah, so definitely go for the move speed, because this, bro, you proc this all the time. That's why this is insane, bro. Like, do you understand how crazy this is? You can also use the chain slash as well to proc bleed as well. You can use this if you are going for chain slash. You can do this. But honestly, bro, debuffing someone's move speed with the auto attack. By the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, blade stab is the auto attack. That's this, okay? This skill right here. Just auto attack. It debuffs their movement speed just by doing this. So no one can run from you. Literally. It's impossible to run from assassin. Literally. That's why that is crazy. But yeah. So yeah, this is a passive decrease to the enemy's move speed, because it's an auto attack. You do this all the time, you know? And the thing is, there's no cooldown for it. Look, it lasts for 10 seconds too. Bro, that is insane. But you can also like use bleed for like blood fawn as well. But honestly, yeah, I don't think it's worth. I'd much rather decrease their move speed, because this comes in really handy. And then the last talent, this is not up for debate. Okay, just boost your own physical damage multiplier. Max this out. This is just passive extra damage overall. So you definitely want to go for this. Okay, now there are other options. Okay, now again, this is a mathematically correct build. So I will tell you what does more damage overall and what is more consistent, okay? Now remember, this is Scorpion Venom, okay? So what this is this effect right here. This is the poison, okay? Now, the way the poison works, it only procs the poison every time you do an ultimate skill. So for example, Divine Prison, okay? It procs the bleed right here, Scorpion Venom, for 20 seconds. Now, the more ultimate you consume, the more stacks increase. Okay, so for a 1-star, it doesn't do that many stacks. Okay, it doesn't add on that many, but it still helps because honestly, that's all you want to do. It only procs when you do ultimates. Now, remember, okay, this is only with the bleed. Now, I've tested the damage on this on players. It really doesn't do that much damage. Not to mention, with the physical damage multiplier, remember this is physical damage, okay? Now, if you go to the faction, look at what it says right here, okay? Right here. It inflicts dark elemental damage equal to 3% of your physical damage, okay? Slash power, okay? So, literally, this also scales with the amount of physical damage you have in general. So that's why, bro, you just want to go for physical damage, because this boosts everything. This boosts the damage of your ultimates. This boosts the damage of all your skills, everything. Okay, even the bleed. It even increases damage of the bleed too. So why not just buff everything, you know? That's why this, bro, this is not up for debate. Now, there's also the one that decreases the target's healing, but it's each stack of Scorpion Venom. So it's not worth it, okay? You may as well just, like, bro, just fucking go for passive damage. Like, dude, just max this shit out. That's why that's really crazy. Okay, now for dual talent. You definitely want to go for the one in the middle, okay? This is the best one, honestly. Now, this one is pretty good if you want to, like, bait your opponent into a play, but it's only for 3 seconds. So you have to be quick about it. That's why it's not good. I definitely would not use this, okay? And it only happens once, okay? So you want to use Swift Blade, because, bro, each time you target a new enemy, you get 10% extra damage multiplier, and you also get move speed with it, lasting for 6 seconds. And remember, it resets every time you target someone new and cause damage to them. So you can do it again and again and again. So for 5v5 or 3v3, this is really good, okay? Now this one's not bad, honestly. For every 10 ultimate points consumed, increases the damage of Bloodthorn and Chain Slash by 1%. Now, remember these skills right here. This is only Bloodthorn and Chain Slash. That's why I personally wouldn't use this, okay? And remember, now the good thing about it is that it stacks infinitely. But this is only when you use ultimates. That's why it's not worth it, okay? Like, trust me, it's really not worth it. Okay, now this one right here is the best option, because this buffs your damage for everything. That's why this is really good. So that's the only option you can go for.
We work in the darkness to serve the light.
We are assassins.
Okay, now moving on to Burst Build. Okay, now with Burst Build, honestly, your build should look something like this. Now, you can use the Reflect again. You can use this, but remember, this is burst damage, okay? This is burst damage. This is where this skill right here comes in really handy. That's why I personally, for burst build, you want to go for Bloodthorn. Why? Because you could combo it with Shadow Strike. So remember what I said? You can literally just go for this combo right here. It's really crazy. You get that back attack as well. It is huge burst in 1v1 PvP. Trust me, this skill right here, man. When you do a back attack with this, bro, and not to mention, if it crits in the burst build, you do a lot of damage, okay? Because it's one proc of damage. It's a burst. So if you just do this into that with the extra back attack, there's also blade crit as well. With the burst build, bro, this does a lot of damage, man. I'm telling you, this skill right here also does a lot of damage. But yeah, you can do a lot with the burst build. That's why I recommend using these skills right here. Now, here's where Assassin gets interesting. Okay, you guys know I like my versatile builds. Okay, so here's where things get very interesting. Now, remember how I said this is a very versatile class. Now, for the reset, you can actually put more points into this if you really want to. Now, honestly, when it comes to the shielded targets one, do not use this again, okay? Do not use this. Not worth it in 1v1 PvP, okay? Same with this. This is only when they're unstoppable, so you don't want to use this. Also, you're not going to play aggressive when they're in unstoppable state anyway. That's why you don't want to use this. You want to use this because there's actually a chance you can reset skills. So that's really handy, okay? Now, again, you want to use the evasion one, okay? Do not use the other ones, okay? Use the evasion one. Alright, now, for this part right here, you want to use non-continuous damage, okay? This is pretty good for this build because it's burst. And remember, it buffs the damage of Bloodthorn and Blade Crit. And especially for burst build, this is really good, okay? Now, but the thing is, you don't want to max it, okay? Now, I'm going to explain to you why. But you can put more points into this if you want to, but it's really up to you. But anyway, now I'm going to explain to you why I don't do it, okay? Now, it's because of this talent right here. For the burst build, now there are a lot of options, okay? There's a lot of options to how you can play this class. Now, we have move speed, passive by the way, passive. Also, control resistance. Now, I don't have to tell you guys how broken control resistance is in 1v1. Okay, you guys already know how crazy this shit is. What control resistance does is that it allows a chance for any control effect. So this can be any knockdown, for example. So, let me give you guys an example of what I'm talking about. This skill right here, Chain Dance, it knocks down for 2 seconds. Okay, now, if the target has control resistance and I use this skill on you, it will reduce the duration of the skill of how much it knocks you down. So for example, if I have this passive on, if I have this on, okay, it will then reduce the duration of me being knocked down. So if you knock me down with this skill, instead of it being 2 seconds, it will be like 1 second. Okay, now there's also another kicker to control resistance. Okay, now what control resistance does as well is that it also has a small chance for you to not be CC'd at all. Okay, so this means there's a chance you can actually ignore the CC completely. That's why control resistance is really, really good. Okay, not to mention this passive right here gives you move speed as a bonus. Okay, this is on you all the time. You don't have to use Swift Shadow to do this. This is passive. This is on you. This is on you normally. So you literally can run away all the time you want, and you can chase anytime you want, and you can actually be more safe with the control resistance. That's why this is really freaking good. In 1v1, this is a crazy talent. Okay, now you do not want to use this one in 1v1, but you can use it. Now I'm going to explain to you why you can use it, because you know how this talent is a double-edged sword. It increases your damage in Swift Shadow, but it also increases the damage you take as well. So when you are in the Swift Shadow state, now again, if you don't know what I'm talking about the anti-CC, this skill right here, okay, lasts for 7 seconds. While you are in this state, you do more damage, but you take more damage. However, there is a good side to this. Now, the fact that it gives you more damage, okay, you also have the evasion with this state as well. So yes, you will take more damage if you get hit, but you have a lot of evasion. You have a lot of evasion anyway, so it's almost like it doesn't exist because you evade, bro. You evade so much. Honestly, you evade almost every attack when you are in the state anyway. That's why you can actually use this for extra damage. If you just want to go crazy with burst, you can actually use this. However, there is an alternative. Now there is casting speed. Okay, now guys, this shit is crazy. Alright, now I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. For example, okay, this is normal speed. Okay, now this is with Swift Shadow. Really quick, you see? Now that's why the casting speed is really good with this one. So if you want really fast sequences, you can actually use the casting speed as well. However, I actually think just getting the raw damage is actually better. However, casting speed is good because it increases your ultimate value a lot faster. That's why casting speed is really good. But I like to use this one. This is my preference because it's more safe, and you also get that passive move speed to chase anyone. So it's really good for running away as well. So yeah. Okay, now for your 1v1 engage, okay, now there are different ways you can do this. This is why I love this class, man. So if you're really good at PvP, okay, this is definitely for people like us. Alright, now there's so many ways you can switch this shit up, bro. Like, dude, you can go crazy. So you can do like the typical like brain dead assassin where you start with invincibility, okay, and then like you just assassinate them like right from behind or some shit, you know, into a combo or something. Like there's ways you can do this, okay, but you do not want to waste your stealth, okay. Now I'm gonna explain to you why. Okay, now if you're big brain, all right, this is what you want to do, okay. So the best engage, honestly, there's two ways I believe is the best engage, okay. Now it really depends what your opponent is running, okay. So for example, if you are doing assassin versus assassin, you can either start with, so what you want to do is you roll in real quick and then shield, okay. You can either do that, because sometimes people like to start with a CC, so you reflect it back at them and then you get a solid engage right there. If they take the bait and anti-CC, you can then stealth and then wait it out and then get another CC chain on them and then just fuck them up, you know. And then even if they retaliate or whatever, you have your anti-CC still. So then by the time you do that whole rotation, your stealth comes back again and then you could just run away again and then just kill them. Like, it's really that simple, okay. Now here's another way you can engage, okay. You can also, like when they're like running towards you, you can also use the rocks first, and then if they take the bait and then literally anti-CC out of that, what you want to do the moment they anti-CC, just stealth, okay. Wait for the anti-CC to run out, okay, just wait it out, and then you just go and assassinate them. You know, that simple. And then the moment they wake back up, shield, and then stun, you know. There's so many options, man, so many options, bro. If you really want to get crazy, bro, like, dude, even at the start of the match, okay, so I'm talking about Divine Glory, when like you're on the you know, you're up the stairs and then they're on the opposite side, you can even just start with stealth right off the beginning of the match and then get ultimates from that, you know. You can literally do this too. If you're a real pro, you can actually start the match with stealth without engaging, just for the ultimates. You can use it just for the ultimates, because while you're in stealth, you're actually getting specials. You're getting your ultimate charge. So that's what's really good about that. But yeah, just let that be a lesson for when like you're doing matches and stuff. But bro, I cannot tell you how broken this CC right here is. It's instant. The moment you push the button, it comes out. They're stunned, you know, and it's range. This skill is so broken, bro, honestly. Like, the most crazy part about it as well, dude, it is 15 seconds cooldown, man. Like, what the fuck, bro? This shit is crazy, bro. It's so broken. Like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. This shit is insane. This class just bullies people. Like, honestly, it really does, man. If you're really good at the game, bro, I don't know what to tell you, bro. It's crazy. But yeah, that's 1v1 out of the way. I hope you learned something, and let's move on to 3v3, 5v5, and mass PvP.
We work in the darkness to serve the light.
We are assassins.
Okay, now 3v3 and 5v5 build. So you definitely want to run this skill right here because it gives you immune to all damage while you are doing this skill. It is really crazy. You can also burst a huge crowd with this shit. You can actually wipe a whole team with this shit if you run this talent right here. This shit is crazy damage, okay? I don't know what to tell you. So what you want to do, okay, now let me just go to my build right here. So for example, if you see like a really good burst opportunity where you see people stacked up in a nice, like, you know, AoE format, bro, like they could be just a little bit nearby. They don't have to be like all stacked up, okay? Just a little bit of a group of people nearby, bro. What you want to do, okay, just go crazy on them, man. Honestly, bro, just go crazy on them, bro. You can literally invisibility, okay, into anti-CC, go right in the crowd, and then just, bro, just kill everyone. Just kill everyone. That's it. Right there. Everyone's dead. You do that shit, everyone dies. You stack that shit, everyone is dead. Bro, I promise you. Okay, make sure you're running this talent as well. Okay? But yeah. Because this one, it gives you extra damage as well. So if you do this, bro, trust me, everyone is just dead. Okay, now you want to use this one right here when you do more damage for people above 70% HP, because honestly it's not 1v1. Okay, now this is really nice, but it's only good for like skills that only do 1 proc of damage. So this is useless with this build because you're not using blade crit, which is this one right here. You're not using this, you're using this instead, so it's not going to help with that. So it will also buff Chain Slash and Bloodthorn though, but honestly it's really not worth it. Now when it comes to this shit, okay, so make sure you're running this. Okay, you could run back attack as well, but bro, you're not, like in PvP, back attack is really inconsistent. That's why you would not use back attack. Okay, that's why you want to use this instead, but you only put 1 point into this anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so yeah, so when it comes to this build, that's the optimal setup right there for 3v3 5v5. Now you definitely want to still keep Divine Prison, because remember it's an AoE CC, so you can literally knock down a whole bunch of people, you know, in a crowd. You can do a lot of shit with this skill right here. It's really good. You can even run Divine Annihilation. Honestly, you can even run this too. But the reason why I don't use this and I use this instead is because this has a more wider coverage, as well as it protects you as well, because it makes you immune to all damage. So you can use the anti-CC and then just burst everyone, bro. You can just kill everyone around you. It's so crazy. But don't get me wrong, this skill right here is also good, okay? But you can use, but this is just better, okay? This is just better. I don't know what to tell you. It just is. All right. Now, if you really want to get crazy, okay, there's also another alternative. You can also use Burning Blood as well. So what you want to do, you remove Divine Prisoner, and then you pre-pop it with the anti-CC, and then just delete everyone. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, okay, hold on, let me just show you what I mean. Okay, it's gonna take a little while now. Let me just build specials. Okay, I only need 200 ultimates for this. I mean, it's still a lot though, don't get me wrong, but okay, now what you want to do with this setup right here, if you really want to just one-shot teams, okay, you want to use this ultimate right here. Now, this is what you do with this, alright? So, what you want to do, you want to invisibility, okay, pop the 1-star, anti-CC, into this. You do this shit, everyone is dead. Bro, I promise you, everyone's dead. Everyone just dies. Everyone's just dead. Bro, like, literally, everyone dies. Bro, because, remember what I said? This also gives you extra damage if you do this, okay? It boosts your attack. So, if you do this, bro, you stack that with the anti-CC, with the talent, everyone is dead. Bro, I promise you. But the only reason why I don't use this and I use Divine Prison is because that AoE CC. This is really good. That's why you definitely want to use this instead. It's just better, okay? Even for mass PvP. Even for mass PvP, you can also use this as well for AoE control, but you would much rather use the 3-star for that huge chunk of damage. Okay, now for your skills in this build, okay, for your 3v3 and 5v5 build, okay, the reason why I use Chain Slash instead of Bloodthorn or Reflect or the Binding Chain is because it's AoE, okay? You want to have as much AoE damage as possible. So that's why Chain Slash is really good. Now, Bloodthorn, it doesn't really have much AoE coverage. That's why I use Chain Slash instead. Now, I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. So, Bloodthorn, it's more in a straight line, okay? Now, hold on. Wait. Oh, I fucked it up. Okay, wait, let me show you guys what I mean. Okay, so Bloodthorn, it's more of a straight line AoE. It's not like all around you. That's why I use Chain Slash instead, because look, Chain Slash, See, it goes all around you. It's a huge AoE coverage. So you can definitely get a lot of AoE damage like that. And you can use it in stealth as well to do double damage. And then just get a huge AoE effect for an instant, you know, instant heal, you know, like a big heal. You can also use it for extra like big AoE damage from right off the rip. You know, it's really nice. And it's easy to land as well. The only problem is that it has a slow wind up, but that's not a problem if you're good at the game, you know, so you don't have to worry about this. Now, you can also use this as well, Shadow Strike, over Imprisonment as well. But the reason why I use Imprisonment is because it's more of a safer option, so then you don't have to get in the inside of the conflict. You can literally just, bro, you can just use it from a distance and just CC, you know? You don't have to like go all the way in there just to CC and get yourself killed, you know? You can just safe CC someone from a distance and then your team ganks them, you know? So you can do that. Also, Imprisonment actually has AoE damage, in case you didn't know. After 0.5 seconds, it will inflict damage on enemies within the target's range. So if there's like enemies near that target that gets imprisoned by the rocks, they also take damage as well. So that's why I like to use this, because it also helps just with a little bit of AoE damage, you know? It's nice to have. But anyway.
We work in the darkness to serve the light.
We are assassins.
Okay, now for mass PvP builds, honestly, not really much else to it. It's pretty much the same shit as the 3v3 build. The only thing you're changing is the ultimate. So instead of using Divine Prison, you are going to use Divine Annihilation. Okay, so that's the only difference. So literally, when I swap the talents, they are literally the same, as you can see. They are literally the same. You only swap the ultimate, that's the only difference. But 3v3 and 5v5, like I said, you need that AoE control. So that's why you use Divine Prison. This one's really good. So that's why you go for this instead. Because AoE control can help a fight in a 3v3 or 5v5 tremendously. So you really need that. However, in mass PvP, you can literally build up 300 special skills, because remember, the ultimate limit is increased by 100 with this build. So in mass PvP, you can build up 300 specials, and then you can go full burst. So what you can actually do, okay, like once you have like all of your ultimates, you can literally go crazy. Like, bro, you could do some insane stuff. But yeah, I'll show you like once I build up specials. So if you want to like burst a crowd like completely, you just build up 300 specials. Try to like use your anti-CC to escape and stay alive to not die. And then literally, oh, by the way, you want to make sure you throw these in crowds as well, these shuriken items as well. Try and use your AoE CC as well, you know. And then just like before, kind of the same shit, but you want to like go to a really large crowd and then just let loose, bro. Like that's all you want to do. Okay, so 300 specials. So again, what you want to do, you want to stealth and CC and then just go crazy. Boom. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it for mass PvP.
We work in the darkness to serve the light.
We are assassins.
Okay, now for divinities. Also known as deities. Okay, deities is the Russian translation. Okay, just in case if you guys forgot. Alright, so by the way, when it comes to deities, oh wait, red envelope. Hold up. Yeah, buddy. I didn't really get that much, but it's okay. Alright, so for divinities, honestly, let's talk a little bit about the new one that came out, which is Flame. Okay, now my take on this, it absolutely sucks. Do not use this divinity, okay? You do not need it for the passive, okay? It absolutely sucks. Another tip and advice about this divinity is that it only buffs the damage and healing power when you upgrade it. Now, when I'm talking about upgrades, I'm talking about breakthrough, okay, specifically. The only thing that's good about this divinity is the stats though, because it gives crit. Okay, it actually has crit on this divinity, and it gives attack power and healing power, which is pretty nice. Okay, so it's a pretty good divinity stat-wise. However, the passive absolutely sucks. Now, there's been some people that have been saying, oh, because it makes you immune to fatal damage, it's pretty good for 1 second, okay? Now, here's where people get confused. 1 second isn't really that good, okay? It's, bro, this is barely anything. You will literally die right afterwards. This has no use, okay? Now, another thing is that people also believe that if you upgrade it with Breakthrough, that it will increase the duration of the invincibility. No, that is not true, because if you look at it carefully, the 1 second is in black riding. So that means if you break through this divinity, it will not increase the duration of the immunity. It will only increase the stats that are in orange riding here, okay? Which is the own damage and healing power. So if you break through this crystal, it will increase this part only, okay? Not the 1 second. It will not make you immunity, it will not make you immune for a lot longer. It will stay the same. Even if you max this out, it will still be 1 second. That's why this divinity is useless, okay? But, like I said, the stats is actually worth it because it gives crit, okay? That's why it's pretty good. That's the only thing I can tell you guys. Now, again, for the actual divinity build, now every assassin has got to use this, okay? Plum Heart, you already know. Damage from behind, that is the whole gimmick of assassin. You want to get back attack damage. That's why Plum Heart is really freaking good. So you want to make sure this is on there at all times. You can actually upgrade it as well if you want. If you want to stay assassin, definitely break through Plum Heart, okay? It is really good. However, there are alternatives, okay? For example, Mystic Warders. Mystic Warders is also really good because it shortens the cooldown of all of your skills, okay? Now, another thing. Make sure you have Harmony on, because Harmony gives evasion. Evasion is important for assassin, so you definitely want to have as high evasion as possible, but do not put these on your top 4 divinities, okay? Because evasion is a low priority stat. The highest priority is definitely things like critical, okay? Critical is top priority, okay? You definitely want to like have as high critical as possible. That's why these two are really good. But for the first two, you want to have the passives. For example, Plum Heart, damage from behind, and you want to have Imperial Wings where you get 6% extra damage and healing multiplier, okay? And you get 6% damage reduction when you are below 50% health. This is really good. You cannot go wrong. Now, for single play, for like solo play, okay, this is the loadout you want to go for, okay? This one, again, really good. Now, the thing is, like I said, Life Crystal, you cannot go wrong, okay? Really good. Sovereign, bro, when you're alone with no allies nearby, you get a damage multiplier, healing multiplier, and damage reduction all in one crystal. This is really good. Make sure you get Sovereign, okay? Cannot go wrong. Alright, but this is for solo play only, okay? And then we have the one where it's almost the same, but you just, if you want to run Life Crystal, you just swap out the other one you had, which is Plum Heart. But the thing is, you wouldn't really do this on an assassin, so do not use this build, okay? This one right here is your bread and butter, okay? This is the highest damage one you want to use right here, okay? Now, if you really wanted to, you can actually put Imperial Wings here instead, because you get more evasion. Evasion is important for this class. However, this one gives you crit resistance and defense power. So that's why I put Plum Heart personally, because crit resistance, bro, you cannot go wrong with this, okay? It's really good. Alright, evasion, again, it's really good too, but low priority stat. Crit resistance is really good, so that's why I go for that instead. Okay, now, what else do we need to cover? I think that's about it. But like I said, if you have Mystic Warders, you can change Plum Heart for Mystic Warders if you do not like back attack. If you do not like doing back attack, change Plum Heart and use Mystic Warders, okay? Then that's your alternative build. For the future, when we get level 90 cap, this divinity right here, you want to try and get Flame, okay? Flame, again, it gives you critical. So then, when you have this, you would then swap... well, actually, you wouldn't swap anything. You would just put it in, okay? Because that's... you wouldn't get rid of Mysterious Mirror, because it has crit on both lines, okay? And Sovereign, again, crit on both lines. You cannot go wrong with this, alright? So, that's why. So, when you get level 90, make sure you try and pick up Flame, because it also has critical, and then you just put that in here. Okay, that's yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's divinities.
We work in the darkness to serve the light.
We are assassins.
Okay, next on the list we have attributes and inlays and pets and, you know, the miscellaneous stuff, okay, all the extra shit. Alright, so let's start off with the attributes. Okay, now for assassin, instead of your typical physical class, you want to put more points into dex over strength, actually. Because the reason why I say this is because assassin is a class that's specialized around crit. Okay, in case you guys didn't know, but it's pretty straightforward and obvious if you haven't figured that out. But so yeah, your loadout could look something like this. Honestly, just make sure you have more points into dex, around 10 points or more, like 10 or 20 points maybe, you know, it's really up to you. But this is the way I do it. I always have that 10-point distribution, how I do with my other builds. So yeah, that's how it looks for assassin. Now the thing is that, like I said before, assassin is a crit based class. If you crit with this class, you are going to be doing crazy amounts of damage because it is a burst DPS. That's why with a lot of dex, this class is insane. Okay, that is why you want to prioritize dex over strength. Okay, now with that being out of the way, next we have inlays. Now for inlays, it's pretty straightforward. Make sure you have physical, you have the player damage reduction on your helmet. Try to even out your defenses, okay? So like have one physical, one magic, and then for the chest, same shit. You want to have like evenly distribute them. So it's like, you know, you have that half and half. So you have like physical damage reduction and you have magic damage reduction, okay? And then for necklace, again, max crit, okay? This is a no-brainer, okay? Earring, physical damage for the ring. Again, physical damage. For the orange gem, make sure you go for haste. Haste, you cannot go wrong. It is really important, okay? Again, with the weapon, just physical damage, all physical damage, okay? Okay, now for... Wait, I'll get into that afterwards. So for the pants, evasion, because again, this is an evasion class that's very specialized around evasion actually. Okay, so make sure you max the hell out of evasion. Alright, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now for the boots. Okay, now, this is where things get a bit interesting, because for the boots, honestly, this is my preference, okay? I always put thunder, fire, and light. Now for dark, this is optional. You can put something like, spirit element against Dragon Knight, you know, or Spirit Shaper, you know, in case you want to block the Thousand Forms or whatever. Okay, it's really up to you. Or you can put double thunder and then put fire and light. The reason why I put a dark gem in here is because not only does it help against occultists, but that's not really what's important. What's important is bleed. Now, remember what I said before, bleed is actually dark element. So if you have on a dark gem, you will be more resistant to the Scorpion Venom, which is actually really helpful in terms of like your assassin mirror matches. So here's what I mean. So if I go to my 1v1 bleed build, okay, as you can see right here, okay, dark elemental enhancement, dark element enhancement. It's dark damage, okay. So yeah, right here, it inflicts dark element damage, okay? So as you can see, that's what the poison comes from. It is dark elements. So that's why I put a dark gem in there, in case you guys were wondering, okay? So that's why I have these gems right here. And obviously fire for sword mage. Sword mage hurts, it does a lot of damage, that's why you want to have fire. Same with gunslinger, burst class, you have to have a fire gem in here. Okay, light damage, really good, because for future patches, when we're going to get Holy Lancer, Holy Lancer also does a lot of damage. Same with Blade Master, same with Paladin Shield Bash. Light element, bro, you can't go wrong with this, okay? It's really good to have light element. Okay, and Thunder is Assassin and Paladin. So Thunder's really good to have in here as well. So that's why I use those, okay? Now next, we have the pets. Now for pets, honestly, I mean, it's the same as always. These are your 4 meta pets, okay? Everyone knows this. However, for your healer, for like, for Azure Kirin or whatever, you want to start upgrading Sansan. because Llama-san is actually the best healer pet actually. And for your tank, until you get the UR pet title, Stormlord, you can't really go wrong with this. Okay, Stormlord is pretty nice, but yeah, cannot go wrong with this. All right, it's really good, but yeah. But anyway, that's about it. So that's everything about Assassin. If you guys have any other questions, be sure to leave them on the video as usual. Dude, I always answer my comments. Okay, I always appreciate you guys for asking questions. You know, I always try to, you know, make time for you guys and to answer your questions and stuff. I always try to make time. So even on my Discord, you can answer me. You can literally send me a question on Discord. I really don't mind. But yeah, that's about it. That's pretty much everything. For the training, again, it's the same shit, man. Just make sure you have a lot of points into crit. Okay, this is really important. And make sure you have a lot of points in attack as well, because you want to focus on damage. So yeah, that's oh, and start leveling up your evasion. Make sure you start leveling this up. If you are playing Assassin, start leveling your evasion. If you have not leveled this up yet, make sure you put this up. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. For your skills, start leveling up your make sure you level up Chain Dance, Bloodthorn, Chain Slash, for PvE especially. Start level up Binding Chain. Level this up as well for PvP for extra HP recovery. It heals more the higher the level, so make sure you do that. And level up your stealth for critical strike increase. This is really important. But yeah, everything else is kind of whatever. Oh, the Swift Shadow as well. It increases your evasion the more you level it up. Level up Absolute Domain as well. These are like your bread and butter. Auto attack, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. So for your ultimates, make sure you level up the 3 stars. Divine Prisoner, Blade Crits, and this one you can also level up as well. This one is not really a high priority, you can leave this one, but start leveling up Burning Blood as well, just in case. If you like this buff, start leveling this up. Blade Crit, Divine Prisoner are top priorities, and this one, and Divine Annihilation, these are top priorities. Okay, for this one's like a second priority, because you don't really use this that often, apart from mass PvP, but that's about it. And 3v3 and 5v5. But even if you don't have this level up, you could just use this. Like, it really doesn't matter that much. But anyway, that's pretty much it for Assassin. I hope you guys enjoyed, and this has been your boy MassBlade here, and I am signing off. Alright, peace!
MassBlade.
I am the chosen one. I have been chosen to rule this planet.